Hi, today is the 11th of October 2025. I am Susan MeeLing. Uh, there's legal government names and all that sort of stuff, and my second modeling name, LadyDoriBelle. But aside from that, I have a website, www.susanmeeling.com. Now, I know some stuff, and I don't know everything. I comprehend that. I don't play games. I'm not a gamer. Um, I have dealt with too much to try that or attempt that. So I tried to be covert, and yet I thought it would be like the dork slick thing because I'm a dork. And others didn't really necessarily know how much of a dork I am, per se. So the registration is none of your business. Even though my credit card and all that sort of stuff and etc. But yeah, it was one of those, it was kind of like, the layout that I was attempting was, if there was anything, it'd be kind of on the down low, you know? So I didn't have to, necessarily have full knowledge, but just enough where, okay, well, I can make a recommendation or a suggestion, and I'll go on my fairy little way, sort of thing. Uh, and so, being on the West Coast when despite being a born and raised East Coaster in the 1980s, 1990s, East Coast, West Coast stuff, I thought I was being cool about stuff. I could have totally not been cool, but I thought I was being cool by giving that like platform of an open door sort of thing where, it's kind of like all you had to do is, be a dork the way I am, you know? And and so I kind of envisioned in my dork dumbness, someone being like, hey, maybe something. I gave an example yesterday when I was talking with the guy that I kind of seen and stuff like that. Now I'm kind of baffled because I didn't realize how much of a dork I might actually be if nobody in that vicinity, and then there's South by Southwest area in Texas that I learned about in 2019. And it's like, come on, like I know I'm a dork. I didn't realize I was like, I knew I was the big, like I internally sensed I was the biggest dork in the universe, but like I didn't ever really want to project that out and actually acknowledge that, you know. And so I thought, because if you remember the 1980s, 1990s stuff, you comprehend the none you been at sort of thing, it's a thing. And if you don't, then you don't understand the 1980s, 1990s East Coast, West Coast stuff, and that's not my fault. That being said, I attempted to be cool, be slick, be smelled. Instead, I was just a dork. So yeah. Because that's just who I am. But hey, I have grown my hair. It's been 25 years or 20 years. 20 years since my hair has been somewhat close to this length. It is so heavy. So, but yeah, I attempted to be smooth, like totally the coolest that a dork can be, And so, yeah, I did that. Yeah. because I figured in my common sense back then, this is 2025. I figured that would be like, you know, open door policy-ish sort of degree, but not full open door, but ish, you know. And so instead, I'm a girl. I might be adorkable, but that's a little. A thought. That's my fault for thinking. You know. Oh yeah, and if you look on YouTube, I have other videos. You just have to look up LadyDoriBelle. That's Dory with an I and Belle with an E at the end. Kind of weird about that Navy thing, huh? Regarding the E thing. I learned that in 2020 something or another. Have a good one.